I'm not counting naive Bayes as an algorithm right now, or I should say, yes, it was an algorithm, but these days, comparatively, it is not much in use. So undoubtedly, we are just counting it on linear regression and KNN. In fact, KNN is also not very much used in the system today. The third algorithm is basically the logical regression, logistic regression. And these are basically the classification algorithms. Okay, what we mean by classification algorithm, class? What we mean by classification, class?
Categorizing the data.
Aage? So it is basically the categorization of data. Then what about this regression? What is regression? Who will tell me what is regression?
Ma'am, a way to establish relationship between dependent and independent variables.
That is what we had gone for linear regression, and it is by default a classification algorithm. So what exactly is regression? If categorizing the comes under the classification, then what is regression? Definitely, all the concept that you people are going to learn is the relationship between the dependent and the independent variable. But what exactly regression does? What kind of output it will give? जैसे अभी मुझे मिल रहा है, I can't categorize all of you in one thing that yes, you people are getting to know something related to data science because all of you don't contribute. Few people can contribute, few people are listening, few people are responding, the remaining other class is not doing that. Undoubtedly, it doesn't come under only the classification, it also comes under the regression. So what we mean by regression? I hope अब तो समझ में आ जाएगा. If continuous means categorizing the data set, then regression is regression actually works on the numbers. So that means it is a continuous mode of data. That means we are having a continuous amount of output. It is not contributing in the form of true or false. It will be giving me some values like x1, x2, x3 and y. I'll simply say when it is like this, then it will be giving me an output like this. When it is 4, 7, 6, then it is giving me an output like this. So basically this kind of data, when we are having this amount of output, when we are having, we simply call it as a regression problem. Getting my point, class? ये हम ऑलरेडी पढ़ चुके हैं क्लासिफिकेशन एंड रिग्रेशन में क्या होता है. Is it okay till this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So since these are called as the classification algorithms, but undoubtedly logistic regression comes under majorly for the regression, but it can well work for the classification. For example, here comes your something like this. If it is equal greater than 0, we'll count it for 1. If it is less than 0, we'll count for 0. So now it turns out to be a classification problem. So I can simply say that this is coming out to be 0. Sorry, this is coming out to be 1 and this is again 1. I have another set as 3, 2, 8 and it is coming out to be minus 0.2. So undoubtedly now this output will be 0 as per the identity. So we can work the logistic regression in terms of classification as well, but by default it is a regression problem. Now secondly, linear regression also has a word as regression. That doesn't mean it is called as a regression algorithm. It is a supervised mode of algorithm, but it comes as a classification problem. But for the case of logistic regression, it is basically the regression problem, which can be converted to or which can be also used for the classification of the problem. Getting my point, class? At this point, it is clear to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I want you people to write one statement and then let me know what exactly the statement says. It says that logistic regression is Logistic regression is commonly used to estimate the probability that that an instance belong to a particular class. To a particular class. I'll repeat it again. Logistic regression is commonly used to estimate the probability that an instance belong to a particular class. Just read it, understand it, and make me understand what exactly it means. Okay, who will tell me? Yes, first years. कौन बताएगा मुझे what exactly logistical regression means? Okay, let me check who is. Okay, who will respond to the question? What is logistic regression now? Nisha, I said logistic regression is commonly used. It is commonly used to estimate the probability that an instance belong to a particular class. Belong to a particular class. Okay, who will tell me? तो बहुत सिंपल है. इनफैक्ट मैंने अभी लिख के भी दिखाया है एग्जैक्टली व्हाट वी मीन बाय दिस. सो कौन बताएगा मुझे? लेट मी आस्क. कंचन, will you try beta? Yes, Kanchan, can you try what exactly we mean by logistic regression? Nandini, it is supervised learning classification and used to predict the probability. Exactly, but what exactly we mean by the probability of the target variable? Can anyone explain?
Ma'am, is
Nandini?
it like,
हाँ Prachi?
ma'am, is it like the probability when we have two things, like we have two possible outcomes, either this or that, pass or fail.
Pass or fail, win or loss.
Hmm. But again, the same thing. Then it comes under the classification. We have a data. We are saying that it is a regression problem. Now, कौन बताएगा मुझे? सब कुछ लिखा हुआ है. मैंने इवन डेटा सेट भी तुम्हारे को लिख के दिखाया कि exactly how we work on. So now understand that concept. Prachi, you are right. Surbhi, you are right. Yes, pass, fail, true or false, yes or no. That's okay. Exactly यही हो रहा है. लेकिन कहकर कैसे रहा है? What we mean by probability? अगर probability आ रही है, that means data set is of different type.
Yes, ma'am.
कौन बताएगा? नेहा, will you try? नेहा Rose.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Will Neha Rose answer the question related to logistic regression is correct or not correct? Can I say it is a problem of logistic regression, or can I say it can be worked on logistic regression? Can I say that? Understand the concept. Neha Rose का आंसर करना और नेहा रोज का आंसर सही होना, और आई शुड से द नेहा रोज का जो भी आंसर आ रहा है दैट इज द करेक्ट वन, कैन आई से दैट इट बिलोंग्स टू द लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन प्रॉब्लम? इट इज लीनियर रिग्रेशन प्रॉब्लम, वी एग्री टू दैट? लीनियर रिग्रेशन की प्रॉब्लम होगी ये?
मैम
यस फर्स्ट ईयर।
मैम समझ गई लॉजिस्टिक वाला।
अभी तक तो बेटा मैंने शुरू ही नहीं किया, मैं सिर्फ इतना बोल रही हूँ। ओके अक्षता,
यस मैम।
स्विच ऑन योर माइक। ओके अक्षता, व्हाट इज लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन एज पर योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग? जो भी तुम्हें समझ में आया है, गलत है लेट इट बी, चलो बोलो।
मैम
बोलना तो शुरू कर बेटा, पहले बोल तो सही, फिर बता, फिर समझ में आएगा, पहले बोल जो भी तुझे समझ में
मैम
आया।
हमें ट्रेनिंग डेटा दिया है, उसके अकॉर्डिंग जो हमें टेस्ट डेटा दिया है उसका उसकी वैल्यू प्रेडिक्ट करना।
उसकी वैल्यू प्रेडिक्ट करना। कितने लोग कहते हैं कि अक्षिता डोंट स्विच ऑफ योर माइक, ओके? कितने लोग कहते हैं कि अक्षिता ने जो बोला है वो सही बोला है? रेज योर हैंड। हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर सेइंग यस शी हैज द राइट आंसर, शी हैड गिवन द राइट आंसर? सिंपल। Simple, is she right? Okay, Prachi.
Thinking, ma'am.
Is she right?
Ma'am, not something.
Not something something. So what proportionate you will say कि Akshita is right or wrong? In what proportionate you will say? Okay, Surbhi.
Yes, ma'am.
In what proportionate Akshita is right?
Ma'am, I think 50% she is right.
Okay, 50% she is right. So please just understand what is this 50%?
1/2 probability.
It is the probability whether Akshita's answer is correct or not. Getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Akshita,
Yes,
यहाँ
ma'am.
clear हुआ?
यस मैम।
So now what we are saying, Akshita ने जो answer किया है, that is the having the probability. So it is 0.5. Now I'll ask someone else also. Prerna, are you there, beta? Okay, Vandana.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Vandana. Vandana, just tell me, do you know what exactly we mean by linear regression?
Yes.
What is linear regression as per your understanding?
Ma'am, we take a test data and we train our model with the training
That's
data.
okay. We do all this thing for all the algorithm. What is linear regression? Okay, now we had listened to Banega. I will not start the recording today. You have to bear with me today. So okay, Vandana ने एक answer किया है class. How many of you are agreeing to the fact that Vandana's answer is correct? Okay, Surbhi, what is the chances that Vandana's answer is correct?
मैम मेरे को वन्ना का पूरा सुनाई नहीं दिया, लैग हो रही थी उसकी वॉइस.
Okay, किसी और ने सुना है? Nuksha, did you listen to Vandana's answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is the probability that her answer is correct?
I think 50%.
Okay, 50%. Again, it's 50%. I'll say it is almost 0.2 because she doesn't talk about the linear regression. I didn't ask how we are performing the linear regression. I asked what is linear regression. Okay, Richa.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me know. What is supervised mode of learning? Generally, supervised mode of learning. Okay, anyone else knows about what is supervised mode of learning? हमने पढ़ा है there are two types of learning, that is supervised, unsupervised. What is supervised? Juhi, can you answer?
Ma'am, in supervised learning, we using well labeled data.
well labeled
Ma'am,
data. Okay,
yes,
Richa yahin tak. Okay, Akshita, now tell me what is the probability that her answer is correct?
80%.
80%. Now this is the probability. So if I'll have the data, now I had almost the same amount of data. I had asked question to Akshita. Akshita का कितना percent probability आया? That is 50%. Then I asked to किससे पूछा था मैंने? वंदना से. Vandana, and the answer was given by someone 50%. Then I asked Richa, again I got an answer of 80%. Now this is the probability. That means whatever data set I'll have the numerical data first of all, because regression problem works only on the numerical data. That means I have certain features. So Akshita, Vandana, Richa are basically the features. I asked them some questions, certain questions, and I got an answer in terms of the probability. In terms of the probability, the same question is being asked to all the three girls. And I get the probability that while asking all the three questions to each of one, I got a probability of 0.75. I'll again ask some questions related to these three girls only, related to the data science. I get some response like this, and I got a response like this. Now, this value that is coming out, this is basically called as the probability of that instance to occur. So, probability of that instance to occur. So, तुमने यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है? Logistic regression is commonly used to estimate the probability. So, if I'll give another condition, let me ask Prachi. Okay, Prachi. Prachi, are you there, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Prachi, just let me know what is sigmoid.
What is?
Sigmoid. 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 Simply answer. आता है नहीं आता या say simply I don't know.
Sigmoid.
So class Prachi को sigmoid नहीं पता. So the probability of all the four, now she is the new data point that I had presented to my model, and the moment यहाँ पर जब हमने ट्रेनिंग कराई उसके अकॉर्डिंग जो भी रिस्पॉन्स रहा होगा उसके अकॉर्डिंग प्राची का रिस्पॉन्स यहाँ पर आएगा इन टर्म्स ऑफ द
Probability.
probability. Getting my point? समझ में आया कि what exactly we are getting?
Yes, ma'am.
सबको
Yes,
क्लियर
ma'am.
हो? अक्षता?
Yes, मैम आगे समझ.
So now we are working on the probability. So now it is not about
Ma'am,
whether we
what
are
is sigmoid?
सब आ रहे हैं बेटा अभी इसी पे काम करेंगे. Okay, we'll start working on this logistic regression में ही है इसीलिए मैंने जानबूझ के क्वेश्चन पूछा है. Now let's talk about. So some data, I mean data set that works with the probability or that gives the output in terms of the probability, or we are estimating the probability, that comes under logistic regression. So regression always works for the numbers. You always understand. Right? Now, if I say I have a data set जिसमें I have to identify whether the mail is spam or not a spam. Who will tell me? Is it a classification problem or a regression problem?
Classification.
Classification.
I want it to be a regression problem. Now what I'll do?
Numbers will be included.
अभी भी नंबर्स ही आएंगे बेटा डेटा सेट में नंबर्स ही आएंगे आई शो यू लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन बट अभी भी नंबर्स आएंगे लेकिन मुझे इसको क्लासिफिकेशन प्रॉब्लम नहीं बनाना मुझे इसे रिग्रेशन की तरह यूज करना है व्हाट आई डू
10 के फॉर्म में.
नो इट इज नॉट 10 इज अ क्लासिफिकेशन व्हाट विल आई डू फॉर लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन अभी किया है हम लोगों ने
मैम कंटिन्यूस डेटा.
अगेन कंटिन्यूस डेटा एग्रीड लेकिन क्या होगा कैसे करेंगे अभी किया है जस्ट अभी कुछ सेकंड पहले हमने डिस्कस किया है
Probability.
We'll estimate the probability. We'll estimate the probability that at a particular moment if that mail comes या वो जो mail आई है उसके spam होने के chances कितने हैं? This is the regression problem. Now chances की अब मैं क्या कह रही हूँ अब मैं इसको reframe कर रही हूँ एक mail आया है that is spam or not a spam. Now it is a classification problem. Getting my point? दोनों languages अलग है conditioning same है. First one, it says what is the chances of a mail that it is a spam, is basically estimating the probability. That means it is working for the logistic regression. If I am saying that there is a mail and it is a spam or not, you have to check it out. It is a classification problem. That now, no matter whatever amount you are of the data you are having, it is male, female, categorical data or continuous data, you will be simply defining in terms of 0 and 1. Getting my point? Now, if I want to work, because now working on the probability, comparatively we are having the probability, but आउटपुट तो आना चाहिए ना कि वो स्पैम है या नहीं है. Getting my point? So what I have to go for, if I have a probability that my mail is a spam and it is not a spam, और किसी भी तरीके से मैं इसके लिए, इस probability के लिए कोई रूल लगा सकूं, that will give me logit regression. Logit मतलब logistic regression, right? That will be the funda of logistic regression. Now what will happen? I'll simply say if my PS is probability is greater than my 50% या 0.5 से ऊपर है, okay, that is 0.5 से अगर ऊपर है, so I'll say it is 1. That means it is a spam. And if it is not, if it is less than 50%, that means अगर वो 0.5 से कम है, then it is going to be 0. That means it is not a spam. Getting my point? So we are estimating the probability. Now we are working on the probability. So first what we are calculating the chances of that particular event to occur, and after that we are creating a rule or implementing a rule over it so that we can simply say whether that particular event or the prediction will work out or not. Clear हुआ यहाँ तक?
Yes, ma'am.
So basically what it is doing, we have a relationship like this. ये तो हमने पढ़ा है.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll rewrite it. In fact, y is equal to a plus bx. ये हमने पढ़ा है. Now we are saying this to be the probability, and basically ये. If this to be a probability, then I can simply say that my predicted value will be some function of this, where this h of theta is nothing but sigmoid. Clear हुआ?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So now if I'll work in this manner, that means now I have something called as, so this will be written in terms of sigmoid. Why sigmoid we are taking, I'll tell you just after this. So I have some function that is h of theta, which is nothing but sigma times theta times transpose times x, where your theta t is nothing but y. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if we are going for this, that means now my final prediction, if I'll say my prediction is nothing but h of theta times y, or I can simply rewrite it to be theta t times x. So what will happen? Now this h of theta is nothing but a probability. हमने कह दिया था y वाली टर्म्स के साथ रिप्रेजेंट किया है, एंड अगर मैं इसको फर्दर लिखने की बात करूं, आई कैन रीराइट इट टू बी थीटा ट्रांसपोज x. Now this is my function or my rule that will actually define what the output should be. Prediction yes or no. इसका मतलब इसे कैसे कहते हैं?
Ma'am.
जी
Ma'am, can you please repeat ये ऊपर वाली line?
बस बेटा अभी कर रही हूँ. इस ग्राफ से समझ में आ जाएगा. ठीक है, जैसे ग्राफ बनाऊंगी तभी समझ में आ जाएगा.
Okay.
Fine. So I'll क्लास सबको ये ग्राफ दिख रहा है? This is one point Fine, I'll make it to be 0.05. This is 0, and this point is basically 1. Fine. So if I'll go with this, there is a function that is sigma of t. Basically, sigmoid का actual function होता है. This is nothing but 1 plus exponential minus of t. Class, who will tell me for t equal to 0, what will be the value of sigma t?
1/3.
Hanji? For t equal to 0, what will be the value of sigma t? Put the value of t in the exponential and then calculate.
1/2.
It's 1 by t. Think about it, beta.
2.
1 by
1
2.
by 2.
So it's 1 by 2. That means 0.5. If my t is equal to 1, what is the value of my sigma t?
Ma'am, 1.
It is 1. Okay, exponential 1 क्या होता है? Please calculators पे जरा check करना. Exponential minus 1 is 1 by e is equal to what? And then substitute it and then let me know. So e raised to power 1 is 2.718.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
class.
Yes, ma'am.
E raised to power 1 is 2.78. So 1 divided by 3.78 will be, or I should say e raised to power minus 1 will remain, e raised to power minus 1. Over here, if t is minus of something, it will be equal to e raised to power minus 1 is nothing but 0.378. Almost 37 ले लेते हैं, ठीक है? So what will be the value of this expression? 1 divided by 1 plus 0.37, that will be equal to 1 by 1.37. It will be coming out to be 0 point something.
0.72.
It is coming out to be 0.72. If I'll say t equal to minus 1, then sigma is coming out to be, sigma t is coming out to be
0.26.
it is coming out to be 0.26. Okay. If I'll take t equal to 2, what is the value of sigma t?
Eight, eight.
0.88. Okay. If I'll say t equal to minus 2, what is the value of sigma t?
0.119. 0.12.
Okay, it is coming out to be 0.12. So class, let's talk about when sigma is, t is equal to 0, sigma is coming out to be 0.5. I'll take this. It is coming out to be 0.5. Okay, so my 0.5 is over here. But जब हमने t की value 1 लिया, 1 is coming out to be at specific point. Let this point be 1. So it is comparatively increasing. It is greater than 0.5.
Yes, ma'am.
If I'll go with 2, it is again greater than 0.5. If I'll go with 3, it is again greater than 0.5. So now when I'll go for t equal to minus 1, I am having a value of 0.26. So it is coming out to be almost here. Okay? Almost यहाँ पर. If I'll go with minus 2 is coming out to be 0.19. So almost यहाँ पर बात कर लेते हैं. So what is happening? So now over here, at this particular instant, this sigma t is basically giving you the estimated probability. It is giving you using the probability and estimating it. And after that, it is providing a rule. The rule simply says that if my sigma of t is greater than, because this is the point, this is the deciding point. Before this and after this, we are having different amount of values. Getting my point? If I'll say that sigma t is greater than 0.5, then it belongs to class 1. But if my sigma t is less than 0.5, it belongs to class 0. Clear hua class? Yes, class. Is it clear to everyone? So basically, your this function is called as sigmoid function, that is actually defining the rule that no matter whatever amount of function is there, if it is greater than 0.5, it is having a positive value. If it is less than 0.5, it is having a negative value or a smaller value. जो जिस भी class के लिए तुम्हें लेकर आना है. This is being defined by the sigmoid function, which is being incorporated in your data science in terms of this h of theta or sigma simply says that it is working on the probability distribution of the data set, and then it will be defining whether it belongs to class positive or class negative. That is called, and that is the basic phenomenon of the logistic regression. So what exactly it is doing? It is actually calculating this first, and after this it is providing the probability. After this it is substituting some function on this, which is basically a sigmoidal function, which will give you only two class. Either it is belonging to first class or it is belonging to 0 class. Clear हुआ? हाँ जी class, is it clear to everyone? या अभी भी doubt है? Yes, first years, please let me know.
Ma'am, it's clear.
सबको clear हुआ है? किसी को भी अभी doubt है बेटा please अभी पूछ लो. I know it is a bit confusion creating statement because linear regression, logistic regression, they works on the same thing. The only difference between linear and logistic regression is logistic regression works for classification as well. So it is not called as a classification model. It is a regression model, but it can be used for the classification model. So if I will not apply this functionality, मैं अगर ये नहीं apply करती हूँ, then I'll simply say it is working as a regression model. But if I'm applying this function, then I'll say it is converting itself into a classification algorithm. Getting my point? Clear till this point, class?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Secondly, in linear regression, we are just having the attributes along with the classes, whether it belongs to this class or that class. I hope तुम सबको याद होगा वहां पर हम लोग जब निकाल रहे थे तो हमारे पास एक y था एंड हमने y हैट निकाला था और वहां हम लोगों ने ये नहीं बोला था दैट इट बिलोंग्स टू क्लास ए और क्लास बी. वहां पर हम उसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी पे काम नहीं कर रहे थे, वहां पर हम उसकी एस्टिमेशन पे काम कर रहे थे. दैट मीन्स वी आर वर्किंग आउट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली द वैल्यू इज कमिंग आउट टू बी. Over here, we are actually estimating its probability, its chances, whether it will be working or not. After that, we are simply implementing a rule which simply says if it is greater than 0.5, because the function that we are using, that function is being defined by the sigma t, which simply says that it is a function that is 1 upon 1 plus exponential of t, where t is the function, the value that we are calculating, the probability. That probability, when I am substituting into this, we are getting a rule that says that if it is greater than 0.5, it belongs to positive class. If it is less than 0.5, it belongs to negative class. और अगर तुम ध्यान से देखोगे, तो demarcation is at 0. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? Since it is having a shape of this, so it is basically called as a sigmoid. Okay, so इसका जो shape आ रहा है, it is almost S-like, so it is basically called as sigmoid. So it simply says for positive values, for highly positive values, we can't say it is like if for all positive values, if the probability is greater than 0.5, rule simply says it is positive class. If it is less than 0.5 value, then it will belong to negative class. This is the just behind the logistic regression. At this point, it is clear to everyone. Shall I proceed further?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll do the numerical tomorrow for logistic regression, but कुछ key factors हैं जो हमें पढ़ना बहुत जरूरी है, हमें पता होना चाहिए कि exactly क्या होता है. First, who will let me know what we mean by this cost function? कौन बताएगा मुझे कि what we mean by this cost function? अच्छा चलो इसको दूसरे वे में डिस्कस करते हैं. Let's have some interaction now. ओके क्लास हमारी जब डेटा साइंस की क्लास होती है तो सबसे ज्यादा कौन बोलता है? जी सबसे ज्यादा कौन बोलता है क्लास?
मैम आप
अक्षिता के अकॉर्डिंग मैं बोलती हूँ. और कौन बोलता है? सिर्फ मैं बोलती हूँ. फाइन. सो कोई और नहीं बोलता. ओके नंदिनी के अकॉर्डिंग नियति बोलती है. आई थिंक प्राची भी बोलती है. सुरभि ने भी बोलना शुरू कर दिया. वंदना ने भी बोलना शुरू कर दिया है. एंड देयर आर फ्यू मोर. ओके दैट्स इट. नियति एंड प्राची क्लास में से बस इतना ही आइडेंटिफाई कर पाए हैं. सो प्राची एंड नियति यू आर वेरी मच फेमस इन योर क्लास राइट नाउ. ओके तो with me I can say कि Surabhi, Vandana, Akshita, Prachi, Niyati, they also speak out. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
yes
Fine.
ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
now I don't want answer from Prachi, Niyati, Surabhi, Vandana, Akshita. I want others to answer now. सबको पता है सबसे ज्यादा मैं बोलती हूँ. Understand the concept. Okay, so it is an example. Don't take it to your heart कि अच्छा सोनिया मैम ने ऐसा कुछ बोला है. It's just a concept that I want you people to understand. It's a real life problem. Fine. तो कॉस्ट फंक्शन एक ऐसा फंक्शन है जो कॉस्ट प्रिडिक्ट करता है. Fine. ये कॉस्ट जो है इट्स नॉट द मॉनेटरी वैल्यू. ओके इट इज समथिंग एल्स. अभी के लिए सिर्फ इतना समझ लो. कॉस्ट फंक्शन नाम की दिया गया. दैट मीन्स अ फंक्शन that gives the defines the cost of the model. So in our class the model is data science. What are the attributes? You people are the attributes. Attributes का मतलब क्या हुआ? Features. So Surabhi is one feature, Vandana is another feature, Gauri is another feature. I am also a feature of this class. And now what will be the output? Output क्या होना चाहिए? Surabhi belongs to a model machine learning. तो according that is basically data science. अब अगर उस मॉडल पे सुरभि को एज एन फीचर लगाया गया है तो सुरभि का आउटपुट क्या होना चाहिए क्लास? आज बहुत इजी आंसर है ये तो. अगर सुरभि डेटा साइंस पढ़ रही है तो सुरभि से हमें क्या एक्सपेक्टेशंस होनी चाहिए?
जो पढ़ रही है उसको समझ में
एग्जाम में
आए.
अच्छे मार्क्स लाए.
If I am teaching data science, so what should be the expectation from me to you people?
We answer these doubts, ask doubts, and answer the
No.
questions.
That is something, Vandana, that I should expect from you people. What you people should expect from me? मुझसे क्या expectation होनी चाहिए students को? I should make you learn or I should make you understand the concept easily and in a better way. Yes, exactly, Nandini. That I should know everything about the subject. So, everything तो नहीं हो सकता, but definitely I should know whatever I am teaching वो 100% correct होना चाहिए. Is it okay?
Yes,
होता
ma'am.
है? So
Yes, ma'am.
now how you people will define whether whatever I am teaching is the correct measure. सही पढ़ाया जा रहा है. कैसे पता चल रहा है? How you people judge? And we all know, we all judge. How you people judge? बोलो. आसान है ना. डोंट टेक इट टू योर हार्ट अगेन कि ओके सोनिया मैम है हम सच बोल देंगे तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा. नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. अंडरस्टैंड द कंसेप्ट तभी समझोगे. हाँ जो
मैम डाउट्स क्लियर हो रहे हैं एंड कॉन्सेप्ट भी समझ में आ रहा है.
डाउट्स क्लियर हो रहे हैं, कंसेप्ट भी समझ में आ रहा है. व्हाट अबाउट अदर्स? और कौन बताएगा?
न्यूमेरिकल सॉल्व हो जा रहे हैं.
मेरिकल सॉल्व होते जा रहे हैं. दैट मीन्स इट्स रिलेटेड टू कंसेप्ट एंड डाउट्स. एनीथिंग एल्स? हाँ एनीथिंग एल्स?
Concept clear हो जाए.
एनीथिंग एल्स और कुछ? हाउ यू पीपल जज?
We are able to write code.
Things seem relatable.
Things seem relatable. Anything else? कुछ और? कुछ और भी
When we use this knowledge practically in the sense in real life, so that seems accurate.
exactly. So now it is is like कि we have सबका अपना अपना experience है. Everybody is different feature and they are contributing right now. How we actually judge whether I am teaching in a perfect manner or not, I am correct or not, the content is right or not. Fine. Now these are the parameters that actually contribute to your cost function. A cost function is basically a function that it simply says that what amount of features you are using that are contributing the most. एंड उसकी वजह से जो कॉस्ट आ रहा है, मतलब जो एग्जीक्यूशन हो रहा है वो कितना सही है, वो चीज जानने के लिए we apply actually a cost function that simply gives you a value that simply defines whether your system is working perfectly fine or not with minimum number of features or with maximum number of features. अब जरा इसको समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. अगर मेरे पास सिर्फ 100 रुपए हैं और मुझे कम से कम 50 चीजें खरीदनी है, कैन आई परचेज 50 आइटम्स यूजिंग 100 रुपीज?
मुश्किल है.
Exactly, it is mushkil. And if I have lakhs of rupees and I want to purchase 50 items, then
Ma'am, it's easy.
okay. Now, isn't it? It depends on what exactly I want to purchase.
Yes, ma'am.
So how does it matter whether it is 100 rupees or a lakh rupee? How you people defined it? 100 rupees mein it is mushkil, no matter you are not aware of what exactly the commodity I want to purchase. But if it was lakh rupee, so you simply said yes ma'am, we can purchase. How? से define किया.
मैम बिकॉज आजकल 100 रुपीज में कुछ भी नहीं आता. लाइक कॉस्ट वैल्यू कम है.
सुरभि कैसे पता चला कि 100 रुपीज में आजकल कुछ भी नहीं आता?
मैम 100 रुपीज में 1 रुपए की 100 टॉफीज आ जाएंगी.
Exactly, that's it. लेकिन what else? What else? Obviously, I am not going to purchase toffees, but still, कैसे डिफाइन किया सुरभि? 100 रुपीज में आजकल कुछ भी नहीं आता या कंपैरेटिवली वो चीजें नहीं आ सकती हैं जो because something is changing. What actually defined that particular thing?
मैम बिकॉज महंगाई ज्यादा है.
Exactly. So now teacher is there. That means something is defining some functions. Right? So over here, जब मैंने ये प्लॉट किया था तो हमने प्लॉट किया था कुछ. I'll take a brush. So क्लास हमने कुछ ऐसा बनाया था. इनफैक्ट ऐसा भी नहीं है. I'll go with so it is coming like this. Fine. क्या कुछ ऐसा बनाया था. So let's talk about. बस यहाँ पर देखो और यहाँ पर देखो. Aren't the values coming out to be constant?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
बहुत आसान है. देखो, either the value is coming out to be 1 or the value is coming out to be 0. यही बोला है ना हम लोगों ने कि ये वाला जो पॉइंट है दैट इज 0.5. ये वाली वैल्यू सारी 1 जा रही है और ये वाली वैल्यू सारी 0 जा रही है, जो कि तुमने लॉजिकली भी चेक किया था. तुमने देखा था जब t इक्वल टू तुमने 1 रखा तो e xp minus 1 was coming out to be 0.37, and when you substitute it in the expression 1 upon 1 plus exponential minus t, you were getting something like 0.78, and when you substituted it with 2, you were getting a value of 0.88. अगर तुम 3 लेके जाओगे या t equal to 5 लेके चले जाओगे, so it will be almost equal to 1. Can I say that?
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, when I substituted the value as t equal to minus 1, I was getting a value of 2.37, and I substituted in this expression, I got a value of this sigma of t, which is 0.26. And when I substituted the value with minus of 2, it was coming out to be sigma 2 as 0.1. When I substituted 0 t equal to minus 5, I can simply say that at this particular moment, the value could be near to 0. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
But what exactly is happening between this range? हाँ जी, कौन बताएगा? इस रेंज में क्या हो रहा है? ध्यान से देखो. Below this point, it is decreasing. Above this point, it is increasing. Beyond these two extreme points, they are making a constant value as 1 and 0. What exactly you people want to want your logistic regression to learn? भाई ऐसा होना चाहिए, या तो 100 रुपए में सामान आएगा या फिर लाख रुपए में सामान आएगा. क्या हमें ये बोलना चाहिए? या हम ऐसा करते हैं? Okay.
Ma'am, this is the point of inflection, no?
Point of interception, but still concept is अभी ये diagram सबको visualize हो चुका है ना? I am creating the problem now. Now just understand.
No, ma'am, point of inflection.
Yeah, point of inception. Yes, exactly it is. But it is not in terms of y is equal to a plus bx वाला. वो a नहीं है ये. Okay? ये उसकी उस y is equal to a plus bx वाले के लिए आप inception बोल सकते हैं because it is the probability. And after using that probability, we are accounting ये पूरी probability के लिए. जी. शालिनी मेरी स्क्रीन ऑफ करा है. I mean, मैं पेंट अभी नहीं दिखा रही हूँ. अभी मैं कुछ समझाने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ. And the class just let me know. ऐसा कभी हुआ है तुम लोगों के एक्सपीरियंस है so far because we are right now almost 2 महीने से हम एक दूसरे को जानते हैं. Someday you people ask me lot of question and I didn't answer. हुआ है कभी ऐसा?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. My mic was off.
Okay, mic was off. That's okay. Apart from that, no. Oh, yes. Okay. क्या कभी ऐसा हुआ है कि you people are asking me lot of question and I am also answering every question? ऐसा कभी हुआ है?
हाँ.
Okay. तो अब ये दोनों बिल्कुल एक्सट्रीम पॉइंट्स है. अब जरा मुझे बताओ, अगर ये दोनों कंडीशन तुम्हारी लाइफ में एग्जिस्ट हो, मतलब मतलब more or less it is like every now then it happens that you people are asking me questions, I am not at all asking. You people are asking me question, I am always answering. On that specific day, उन्हीं दिनों की बात कर रही हूँ. ये दोनों feasibility है, ये दोनों कंडीशन पॉसिबल है, ये दोनों कंडीशन एग्जिस्ट होनी चाहिए. Okay, rework. Surbhi and I are best friend of each other. So for today, Surbhi is my best friend. Tomorrow, Surbhi is not my best friend. 2 days after, Surbhi is my best friend. 3 days after, Surbhi is not my best friend. Is it something good or bad?
Bad.
Okay, for Surbhi, it is bad. What about others?
Bad.
It is a bad situation. You want your machine.
It is inconsistent.
So you want your machine learning to work like this? Okay, fine. Today, because the resources are small, so I'll be giving you an output of 0. Someday, okay, today the resources are more, I'll give you an output as 1. Is it possible? You want that to happen?
No, ma'am.
No.
So what exactly is in between? Okay, today I am making you learn something. So today I'll give you the new concept. So तुम लोग सिर्फ सुनते हो, तुम लोग पूछते नहीं हो. Agreed? Next day,
Yes, ma'am.
I ask you people, कुछ questions पूछते हो, करके नहीं आते हैं. मैं मेजर टाइम बोल के क्लास खत्म हो जाती है, हम चले जाते हैं. कुछ दिन इसका रिवर्स भी होता है कि तुम लोग पूछ रहे होते हैं, मैं आंसर कर रही होती हूँ. Fine. So that means there is something in between of that. मैक्सिमम और मिनिमम के बीच में भी कुछ है. So within that limit where the linear region is coming out, that means ये वाला जो रीजन है, let this particular point be x1 and this particular point be x2. ये जो x1 और x2 के बीच में जो रीजन आ रहा है, this is basically more informative because at this particular moment of time I can simply say that यहाँ पर probability कुछ और आ रही थी, तो might be it is more closer to 0, so we can simply say gain some sort of an information. Might be at this particular moment the accuracy could be better one. At this particular moment it could be better one. At this particular moment it could be better one. But at this point, or this point. It is not mandatory that it will give you a good amount of accuracy. So class, it is not about the sigmoid. It is in terms of cost function. So what we mean by cost function? So it is estimating the cost of the model. Okay. So now just understand. एक statement बोल रही हूँ, तुम लोग मुझे बताओगे what we mean by this. The objective of training is to set the parameter vector so that the model estimates high probabilities for positive instances. What we mean by, I'm again repeating, the objective of training. Right now, you people are getting the training. You are trained by me. Okay. Objective of training is to set the parameters. That means whatever the concepts or the logics are required for data science, they are the parameters. The objective of the training is to set these parameters that the model estimates high probability for positive instances, and low probability for negative instances. What we mean by that? अब तो आसान है. ट्रेनिंग कराई जा रही है, उसमें ऐसे कुछ पैरामीटर्स आ रहे हैं, या वो ऐसे पैरामीटर्स पर काम करेगा जिस पर पॉजिटिव प्रोबेबिलिटी ज्यादा होनी चाहिए और नेगेटिव प्रोबेबिलिटी
कम होनी चाहिए.
एग्जैक्टली. मेरा ट्रेनिंग कराने का फायदा क्या होगा? अगर मुझे 33 की क्लास में से 30 स्टूडेंट परफेक्ट आंसर देंगे तो व्हाट एल्स से
हम
रिस्पॉन्स
पॉजिटिव रिस्पॉन्स.
पॉजिटिव रिजल्ट है. लेकिन अगर इसका रिवर्स हो जाए, सिर्फ 3 आंसर अच्छे आए और बाकी 30 रॉन्ग आए तो
नेगेटिव रिजल्ट.
we don't want that to happen. Okay. तो ट्रेनिंग का पर्पस क्या होना चाहिए कि पॉजिटिव क्लास ज्यादा होनी चाहिए, नेगेटिव क्लास कम होनी चाहिए. सबसे पहली चीज तो ये हो गई. चलो ये तो हो गया ट्रेनिंग. But what exactly the cost function is doing? Now, if I, rather than writing my sigmoidal in that form, if I'll say I have a cost function as c of theta, and it will simply say minus log of p, that is predicted class, and minus log of 1 minus p predicted. It will be having if y is equal to 1, and this value will be having if y is equal to 0. कौन समझाएगा ये cost function मुझे? क्या कहना चाह रहा है? y equal to 1 means the probability is 100%. अगर 100% है तो minus log of p predicted. That means p1 क्या? I mean अगर p की वैल्यू 1 हो जाएगी तो log of 1 is okay. Repeat करते हैं. Exactly, it is 0. So minus log of p predicted if y is equal to 1. ये वाली कंडीशन का मतलब क्या होगा? कौन बताएगा मुझे? Don't go with this log right now. ये कहता है predicted value for y equal to 1 and non-predicted value for y equal to 0 is the cost function. Cost function हम कैसे निकाल रहे हैं? Logarithmic यूज करके. We are using the logarithmic. क्लास मेरे को बताया नहीं, क्लास कंप्लीट हो रही है. अच्छा क्लास, एक काम करो, अभी के लिए सिर्फ ये रूल लिख लो अपनी कॉपीज में. टुमारो विल डिस्कस ऑन इट. भूल गया, हमारा 11 क्लॉक होने जा रहा, तुमने बताया नहीं. सोच करके आना. रिस्पॉन्स इज आउटपुट के अकॉर्डिंग जो हमारे पास